Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 21. Before we begin, a couple of quick comments about something that in an episode time, an episode wise, this is like 3 episodes ago, but in real time it just happened for me today. Someone posted a comment about how we probably end up with Daniel Cabrera. It may well be that OOTP made a goof when they started working on their prospect evaluations. So, in the past, say around OOTP 17 and 18, the AI would take almost any trade. And it was silly. You could be like, I want your entire team for like a veteran relief pitcher. And they'd be like, here, and we'll throw in some prospects too. Up until this year, the trade AI had gotten better even at the default. So that if you got a young prospect, you generally got quality value on both sides. But if we look at trade difficulty now, here we go. Even though it's average, it's still making very simple mistakes. So you've got a couple of ways that you can increase the trading difficulty. You can tell it to favor prospects, heavily favor prospects, and you can just set the base difficulty a bit higher. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and set the trading difficulty to hard. I'm going to leave preference alone for right now to see if this fixes the problem. I don't feel too bad about it because I'm exploiting the AI and not a human. And, yeah. But, on the other hand, it's a fair point, and it's one that I'm going to address in the future episode, starting with this one. So, thank you very much to Tom Lehman for the comment. Very well received. The other thing I'm going to mention at this point, if you really, and I mean really, want to make your OOTP experience super hard, you can set trading difficulty to very hard, trading preference to heavily favor prospects, and then set ratings weight to 0 in player evaluation AI. And what this does is it'll basically give you no information other than just like the generic, like the overall and potential ratings are only based on statistics at that point. And it's really crazy the way it can totally change how the game works. I'm not going to do it. That's even too much for me. I'm not that hardcore. But we are going to make trading a bit harder to hopefully avoid the AI just handing me like one of the best players in baseball for, say, a mediocre starting pitcher. It's not that Zimmerman isn't good. It's that I should never have gotten what I did for him. So, that's that. Let's get started. A personal message. Oh, right. Andy Neal. He's interesting. We're going to have some scouting reports coming in, which are going to be very well received, I hope. Player development. Some nice boosts here. Very nice upgrade for Emerson Hancock. Daniel Cabrera gets even better. Alex Torro made a nice little stride here. And Roismar Quintana is just really getting really, really good. There's some good to great improvements throughout the system, which is really helpful. I really don't know what to do about Alex Torro. I really don't. Now, did I probably just overreact to a small sample size? I probably did. Especially given how good he was in AAA last season. But it's also his first year in AAA. So I want to give him a little bit more time to see that he really earns a place before I start shifting people around to bring them home. Andrew Beckwith cleared waivers. That's delightful. To the AAA with you. Okay. And I'm not going to read these scouting reports right this second. This is just getting a bit more information for when it's actually time to draft. I think we'll get somebody that is high quality, but we're probably not going to get a game changer, and that's totally fine with me. Like, our core is so good right now that I would even take a reliever with the 11th pick. Because you can always use more bullpen help. And there we go. We've got some lovely level abilities here. It's worth noting that the owner of the team is still pretty mad that I'm not playing more drafted players, which I'm like, I have been, but okay. But I don't think that's going to affect us much. I think the really big question is going to be how well we do this year. Oh my god. Stop giving me scouting reports. I know it's my fault. I asked for like 21 scouting reports at the end of last episode. Okay, we lost Gerardo Perdomo, which isn't ideal. But it's fine. This is what championship caliber teams have to deal with. Now, who do we activate to fill this gap? And I think the answer is Clay Fisher, just because I don't trust O'Neal Cruz to actually play shortstop well enough to hold down the position. So what we'll do is actually make Graffinino the starting shortstop and then let Fisher be a backup. Now, I don't know that I'm going to leave Graffinino as the leadoff guy, but there's a lot of reason to do it. Namely, his ridiculous batting discipline. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's fine, and then Clay Fisher, you're going to be our backup at all the defensive positions here. And I'm going to go ahead and slide you into as a defensive sub. Copy the depth chart, please and thank you. Oh, no, actually, that's a silly thing to do. Let's just go ahead and do what I just did. Graffinino was my kind of player if, and it's a big if, he can consistently hit for contact. Just enough to make his other batting skills be really worthwhile. Because he's the kind of player that everyone else is going to undervalue. We're off to a nice start this season. I approve. Now, if I have one complaint about my own style, I do tend to hold on to prospects too long. I don't like trading them unless I have to. We're going to talk to Max Kepler, though I suspect I know what he's going to say. Some nice improvements here. I just saw Corona Jr.'s name. Where is he? I swear I just saw Daniel Corona Jr.'s name. Here it is. His contact got better. Now it looks like our scouts are starting to realize that maybe he's not going to be the superstar we thought he would be. But just that he's slowly improving his contact still means he's got a lot to offer. But anyway, Max Kepler, I'm sure you want to come back. I don't disagree with that. Except for the fact you're going to want just a silly amount of money to stay. Like, if we do an extension offer, he wants $11 million a year. It's not that much more than he's got now. I really need to give that some nice, serious thought, because there's something to be said for keeping him. Like, who would... Let's pretend for a moment. Something horrible happens to Max Kepler, and we need someone to replace him. Who's going to do that? Is it going to be Quintana? Maybe. But it looks like he's still he might be a year away from the majors. And if it's not Quintana, I don't have a lot of outfield help. I've got a bunch of players who are kind of okay at it, but I don't have starting caliber outfielders in the system, which is a weakness of the system. We spend so much time and resources trying to improve our middle infield that we're now sliding behind on outfielders. Things come in waves. It's fine. So what this means is that there is genuine value in keeping an established player for another couple of years until we see what actually happens. And there's a lot to be said for that. All right, let's see here. So Quintana has never played above single A. And I'm asking him to learn a new position. He's doing well, but we don't want to rush him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and offer Kepler a 3-year deal. I'm going to ask him for a couple of team options. I don't know that this will work, but if it does work, this would be a huge, just an absolutely massive signing for us. It gets us a consistent middle-of-the-order bat who's still on the younger side, but still gives us the flexibility to dump him if we need to shift money to other players. And it seems like he's cool with it. I don't mind at all giving him a modest raise based on what he's already done for us and what we hope he'll do for us in the future. Like, keep in mind, he's been worth 2 to 3 wins a year every year except for 2020. Well, and of course 2018, but he was still growing at that point. I think he's a good risk, and we're going to take that risk. What else am I going to do? Hadley, my boy. I don't blame you. I genuinely don't blame you. And I probably missed an opportunity to lock him down. It is what it is. I'd like to get a bit more certainty with a few of our players. Because that's our biggest problem. If you look here, just because of arbitration next season, salaries are going to balloon. So we want to try to find some places to save some money now so that we can be competitive in keeping some of these other players. Ali Sanchez is number 1 on my list. It's not that I don't like him or that I don't think he's a talented player. It's that I'm not paying $10 million in 3 years for a backup catcher. That is an absurd expense for anyone but, say, like the Yankees. Ain't gonna fly with me. I've got better things to spend my money on. So what we're going to probably do is once the season shakes out a bit more, I'll probably end up trading him to get a couple more prospects maybe. Oh, we're going to lose Tanner Scott at the end of the year. The problem is he wants to get super mega paid. And I'm not convinced he's worth it yet. Maybe my opinion will change. But if we look at his past records, he just gets lit up. I mean, these are genuinely bad ERAs where he just gets a high WAR because he threw a bunch of innings. It looks like he might have been victimized by some bad defense. And that's an entirely possible thing to say. But his walk rate has always been problematic, and it looks like it probably always will be. So Tanner Scott's another guy we might want to consider putting on the trade block. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the overview. Some of our players are off to a cold start. It's also May 1st. So I'm fine with waiting a while for them to heat up a bit. I mean, there's no way Daniel Cabrera hits 224 or Adley Rutschman hits 229 over the course of a full season. Oh, this is on 2 sides. That's kind of silly. What else can we put here? You know what? I always miss team chemistry. I think this is good. Okay. Graffinino is doing what I wanted him to do. Luis Garcia could be better. I think it just seems like everyone from top to bottom is having a bit of an issue hitting this season. And so we'll just have to wait a bit to see how everything shakes out. I want to at least give everyone 200 plate appearances before I start making changes in the lineup. Let's advance time a bit more. You're not allowed to get hurt, Ali Sanchez. You're a trade bait. Perdomo can come back. Is that what I want? Or do I want Graffinino to keep playing? I think I want Perdomo, so we'll go ahead and demote Fisher. Promote Perdomo. And then see how he does. You know, there is another option here to keep them both in the lineup. I demote Bobby Witt Jr. who really didn't hit that well last season. And I don't want to rush him. So I think that's what we're going to do. It is unorthodox, but I think it's the right call for this team. Because here's what this does. First of all, Perdomo gives us a great defensive third baseman. Well, maybe great is a bit of an overstatement, but a pretty good one. Graffinino gives me a world-class leadoff hitter. Potentially. And we want to see what he can manage, right? So here's what we do. Graffinino bats ninth. He's going to get a chance in the majors to prove that he can hit well enough to carry the rest of his ability. Perdomo sits at the top and plays the natural leadoff hitter role he was born to play. Everyone else gets better. And even though we sacrifice a bit of power, we're getting more consistency. So I think I feel pretty good about this. In fact, I know I feel pretty good about this. There's just something about having the ninth place hitter that's really good at getting on base. And if Luis Garcia continues to struggle, we can always bump Graffinino to lead off and let Perdomo hit second. And Kepler decided to sign a new deal, which is fantastic. I appreciate the consistency his bat will offer in the middle of the lineup. Oof. Okay, 60 days out for DL Hall. This is not what we'd like to see. But that's why we have so many pitchers in the minors. Kate. I like Kate a little bit better as a starter. So he's going to take over as the fourth starter. Already, these are all settling out nicely. I greatly approve, game. We are doing suspiciously well for a team that isn't hitting that well as a team. Player development. Nothing too surprising. Nicolau Kendall slipped a bit, which is what it is. He's still got potential to be a pretty darn good hitter. Daniel Cabrera is actually becoming more of a power hitter, which is absurd given how good he's already been this season. I bet it's over Edwin Diaz through a shutout. I was like, he better not be. Rookie of the month to Pierrette. Very nice. Okay, let's make some deals. Now, I had another catcher, Handley. Handley can do 80% of what Sanchez can do for basically nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him up for prospects only right now. As we can see, we've got a rebound from a lot of our positions, but not all of them. Dan Lotz is really struggling. How's Ryan Mountcastle doing? Mountcastle continues to crush it. I think maybe at a certain point I just have to stop not believing in Ryan Mountcastle. And I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to bench Lots and let him hit a little bit less frequently and see if he can start making the adjustments he needs to make at the Major League level. I think that's an easy call and one that should greatly improve our team. Larnach, DHs are a dime a dozen. I'm willing to let him ride it out. Perdomo's really suffering. And we can't discount the possibility that the reason he's suffering is because of his injury. And Luis Garcia is struggling a bit too. But not as much as Perdomo is. So here's our new lineup. Graffinino leads off. Garcia hits second, Perdomo bats ninth. And we'll see how this works out if we just sit for a bit and let people play. I think it's just because Perdomo's probably rusty, but I also want to make sure that Garcia gets another full season to show me what he can or can't do. Like, if this is what I get from Garcia, this is what I get. That's still a pretty solid player just because he's such a good second baseman. And because he adds value in other ways. I would not be upset with his batting line, but I also think he's got more. And if he does have more, like say he did his rookie season, then we've got an even better player. But if it turns out that we keep Perdomo, or that Perdomo starts batting second and Garcia bats like 7th or 8th or even 9th, then that's what happens. That's not a big deal. Yeah, Larnach's batting average was never great in the minors for a long period. So we're going to let him play a bit more before we decide anything on him. Okay. Ali Sanchez. We don't have any position right now where I definitely say we need to upgrade there. There's no clear hole in the lineup. We could use better prospects, but there's no clear hole in the lineup. Syndergaard is quickly proving that he can't handle pitching in Baltimore because he just won't stop giving up those homers. It's whatever. He's gone after this season anyway. Do I try to trade Syndergaard? Because here's the thing. We still have one more season of him at 24 plus million. Let me start with Syndergaard this turn. I'm going to ask for everything, and I'm just going to see what offers I get. We did make trading difficulty harder, so it could be that most people just tell me to go fuck myself. Yeah, you're only offering an even worse contract. So, and that's, you know, it's whatever. I'm just going to sit on Syndergaard. But let's flip Sanchez. There's a lot of value to a catcher with this level of capability. And I think we'll get a valuable piece for him. Or maybe we won't. This fielding offers awfully quickly. Okay. What if I increase what I'm willing to pay for the replacement player? Alright, here we go. The results start coming in. And the choices range from overpaid to overpaid. Why do you keep doing this to me, game? Why do you keep taunting me with Nolan Arenado? It would be silly, right? Okay. You know what? Let's think about the pluses and minuses of a deal for Arenado. Plus, he's an amazing defensive third baseman who's consistently hit over most of his career. He would bring more fans to the park. His contract is front loaded, which means I'll actually save money on him as we get toward the end of the deal. Let's think of the downsides. He's still really expensive, and it could end up costing us when we're trying to re-sign some of our talented young players. But let's say, for instance, I take Arenado. Let's try to put this trade together and make it work. Because this is such a big move that I want to make sure we take a lot of time to think about it. So we'll click the trade button. I need other ways to save more money. So let's say I'm a kind-hearted soul, have Geraldo Perdomo. And let's see if I can get you to throw in a prospect. Our old pal Termar Johnson. I remember you. Must be joking. Okay. Grant Levine, maybe. Jared Thomas, meh. Bruce Benitez, maybe. Would you give me Brucey Boy here? He's saying it's close. That's fine. What would I have to add in? Like, hey, do you want a crappy catcher? You can have him. Now, let's get really creative. You know what? That's reasonable. $5% isn't worth it. I'd rather just make the deal. Oh, God. Okay. All right. What does this do for the team? It gives us a giant heart of the order hitter. It lets me be more creative with the hitters I've already got. It solves the arbitration issue that Perdomo and Sanchez both present. It gets me a major player that will bring more fans to the stadium and could generate more revenue, which could in turn increase the market share and therefore let me spend more money on players. The downside is, if he crashes, we haven't given up a lot of value, but it's still gonna hurt really bad. I'm doing it. I've talked myself into it. I can't pass this kind of deal up. All right. Position number 1, filled by Arenado. Position number 2, filled by Handley. Now, where do we bat Arenado? I think we bat him cleanup. If I remember right, he's a really good power hitter, right? Yeah, he's one of the best on the team. Rutschman hits 5th. Everyone else gets bumped down. I think that's fantastic. Done. This also takes some of the pressure off of Rutschman, who's having a bit of a rough start to his season. And then Maverick Handley. That's such a fantastic name. So good. This trade was worth it just for the fantastic name. Okay. Miller, Larnach, Mountcastle, Kepler, Rutschman. Let us actually regenerate the depth chart here, because I think you're being silly here. No. If starter tired, please don't make Cabrera the only backup, because then it just gets silly, because we're just shuffling people around. We probably need another outfielder in point of fact, but we'll deal with that later. And generate, and if tired, if tired. If tired, if tired. And then you do you, bench coach. Build me a lineup. Build me a lineup. Got it. Okay. Here's, I think, our next stop. I think I need to lock down Rutschman while I still can. Maybe. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to sign a couple of early arbitration deals to free up some more money in the budget. So if you watch how this works, this is because the AI is assuming that yeah, he wants a bit more than that. We'll figure something out. Can I get Mountcastle at least? Do we just jump on the Mountcastle train? Like, he's so cheap. Worst case scenario, Mountcastle becomes a really good platoon hitter. And he's been so consistent for us. Like, look at him. He's consistently provided double-digit homers. He's doing it again this year. albeit he wasn't playing as often. I think we do it. I think we accept that he's a perfect player for us, and we go ahead and sign him to a new deal, thus giving us a bit of cost certainty down the road. Miguel Castro we need to get rid of. I really got suckered in by him. I am getting offers, they just don't seem like great ones. Do we dare get just like stupidly greedy? Okay, let us look at just pitchers. So this gives me a couple of options. One, I can make a massive upgrade to my rotation, which I'm actually fine with right now. Jared Walsh. Oh, I like that. Pass. I can sign someone with a 1-year contract, be rid of Castro quicker, and actually still upgrade? I mean, shit, if I take a guy like Luke Farrell or Jonathan Holder, I can upgrade my team and spend less money this year. Clay Holmes, perfect. This is what I'm looking for. Give me Clay Holmes. I want Clay Holmes in my life. I don't care that Holmes isn't very good. The important thing is he's really cheap. And Castro was pitching pretty bad this season anyway, so that's not a big loss. What's our next move? How can I get a little bit more flexibility? Syndergaard. Damn. He really hurts in terms of salary. Can I get you to sign a 1-year deal for $10 million? No, but I can get you to sign for less. Hmm. 11250 I'm only off by a little bit. Let's wait and see what Mountcastle's signing does, if anything, to our team. Draft time. I am not, by the way, it has not lost me that we blocked Bobby Witt. I also don't care because I think he's still very clearly at least a year, maybe even 2 years away from a regular major league job. Negotiate. Oh, I didn't actually draft anyone yet, did I? 2 picks. Let's make them count. All right. Let's not torture ourselves by looking at players that we'll never get to pick. What? Why is he still here? Like, I know his control's not great. But he's a ground ball pitcher with really good stuff, very good movement, and a changeup that could be world vaporizing. As curious as I would be to add, say, a great reliever, I might still have one at the bottom at my next first round pick. Give me Mike Keith immediately, without hesitation. And I can still get Mike Reese. Or Martin Herrera. I actually like Herrera a little bit better. Although he doesn't have the raw stuff, he's got much better command. So we'll go ahead and pick Herrera. Reese is still here with a second round pick. Give me Mike Reese. Let's make this the year of stocking up the pitching staff. Bobby Dwyer. No, I'm going to take Bobby Dwyer. This is the perfect kind of player. A good slap hitter, decent gap power, avoids strikeouts. Very flawed. I don't like players that can't draw walks or for much power, but he's a really good fielder, which means he's probably got a very fast track to the majors. That was B.J. Bissett. No, it wasn't B.J. Bissett. And then there's the opposite, B.J. Bissett, who can hit for power, but not much else. I'm going to take Dwyer. I think Dwyer's just a better fit. And I think he's got a short path to the majors. Potentially. Andy Neal. Why not? Done. Greg Bresnahan. You are an interesting hitter. Good contact, gap power, and raw power. Rarely strikes out. I know you won't draw many walks, but the rest of your offensive toolkit is such that I think you're a great pick. Take him. This was a really deep draft. I'm extremely impressed by what I've seen. Chris Everson is a bit more of a project, but he's also really stupidly young. So we're going to give him a try. Draft until next pick. Jonathan Delaney. A pretty fair pitcher to grab late in the draft, basically for free. No, I don't want a pitcher who has bad movement. I think, scouting director, you can finish up the rest of the draft. Please and thank you. Like, this was low-key a fantastic depth draft. We found a whole bunch of players that are going to fill roles on this team And we save money doing it, too. What is with Mike Keith? OSA thinks he could be legendary. I guess other teams... Oh, he is... He could get injured. That's true. I thought it was true of every pitcher. I like how he's like, I will literally take any money you give me. Just please let me play in the major leagues. Done. That was an outstanding draft. I can't talk enough about it. And let's not forget, Mike Reese has really good stamina. If he develops a third pitch and improves his control a bit more, that's like a super added bonus. I really like this draft. We didn't get anyone here that's going to set the world on fire. Maybe Mike Keith. I know the control is doubtful, but the rest of the package is really, really good. I said spitter for a minute there. It's like, oh great, he's going to cheat and get arrested. Not arrested. Fined. Suspended. That's right. As far as I know, being a spitball pitcher does not break the law. You stupid jerk. Alright, Bobby Dwyer. You're already 23. You're going to A-ball. Everson. You can stay in rookie ball. Mike Reese. You're going to A-ball. And I'm also going to flag you as I'm going to control your development. Herrera, you're going to go to A-ball. And again, going to control your development. Everyone else is fine. Okay, Ryan Mountcastle just got delusional. Buddy. Nope. Mm-mm. Okay, Hancock's got a blister. I'm going to manually tell you to bench him for 14 days. I don't want to take any chances with you. Mike Keith, yes. A-ball for you. And I will determine when you get promoted. Speaking of promotions, let's look at our lovely rookies and see who might that we are controlling. Okay, Brad Sampson. I just drafted you. Why is your development locked? I'm not sure. Please unlock it and send him wherever you think he needs to go. No, Keith should be in Delmarva. He shouldn't be in the other league. Hendricks. You're finally starting to pitch the way I thought you might. At least that's what it looks like. You know what? I can't let you stick around in A-ball forever. I need to challenge you. You're going to AA. Mr. Sprake, you are having a fine year in AA. It's your second year there, up to AAA with you. Corona Jr. Bro. Can you do me a solid here? Please? Just literally give me 1 year of offense. Just one. And I will strap a rocket to your butt. And you'll get promoted. And it'll be great. Mr. Quintana, you are struggling a bit in Double-A. That's fine. You can stay there. Let's go ahead and advance. We have a really good team now, but it's also incredibly expensive. You know what I'm going to hope? I'm going to hope that our lovely, lovely owner gives us a bigger budget next year if I kind of force it on him. Push comes to shove, I can cut back on our scouting budget a bit. I don't like doing that, but if that's what I have to do, it's what I have to do. Damn. Oh, no. Oh, no. Daniel Cabrera, no. We need you. Damn it. Quintana's not ready. Torro. Okay. Here is my foolproof, not foolproof plan. It involves Kendall to left field, which is not great, but it's what we've got. And you're going to play left field. You're going to play left field. And then I'm going to let you go ahead and generate your depth chart. I'm not benching Graffinino until he proves he can't hit. He is hitting. Go away. Larnock, I've given you most of the season. How's about you freaking learn how to hit, you jerk? Let's at least let Torro try to earn this job. How is Lots doing? He's bouncing back a bit. You had to pick this year to have a career year, Ryan Mountcastle. You're instantly more than I can afford. We really got lit up. How do you solve a problem like Ryan Mountcastle and his being a whiny bitch? Garcia's starting to bounce back a little bit. He's productive enough for the moment. Noah Syndergaard, you're killing me. You just get lit up every time. And nobody will trade for you. Come on. Literally anybody. Anybody at all. Only for Manny Machado. I'm not taking Manny Machado. Look, what if I eat 10% of his salary? Just give me a horrendous contract for 1 year. Just Machado. If I can't get anyone to bite on a 25% deal, I'm not going to trade. I'll just keep him the rest of the year and then cut him. You're all offering me even worse deals. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm not touching Matt Chapman. He would be delusional to not take that deal. Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, let's flip Mountcastle. We're going to sim a day just so I've got my 5 attempts. Damn it, Ryan Mountcastle. We could have been bros. We could have been bros. What if... Oh. Are you sure you won't meet me halfway, Rushman? Please. Just... I need to be able to afford your contract. That is our #1 problem right now. It's only $1 million. Come on. Meet me halfway. Damn it. If we get to literal arbitration, we're gonna lose. He's gonna be like, I want a private island, and the arbitrator's gonna be like, how about 2 of them? You're killing me right now, game. I could flip Mountcastle and start training Bobby Witt how to play first base. But he's really struggling in AAA, too. Ryan Mountcastle, you have destroyed all of my plans. And I genuinely don't know how to react to it. You're consistently a really solid hitter is the issue. Oh, I've got to sign new contracts, don't I? That's fine. I still have 2 in the top 10, which is pretty great. Personnel. Peter Woodworth, you work with power pitchers. Which is good for Hancock and Syndergaard, not so great for everyone else. But Peter Worth is also super young, which means he could get even better. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him an extension. I think that's extremely reasonable. Offer everyone else here a bit more cash to stick around. Well, that's dealt with, but oh my goodness. Okay, let's just keep going. Jack Leiter's gonna want so much money. Just all of the money. Bobby Wood Jr. is starting to slip just the tiniest bit, which isn't ideal. Some other improvements, nothing too standout-ish. I can't afford him either. Damn it, Syndergaard, you unbelievable jackass. You're costing my team money by just existing. I don't care if you miss a week. You'll survive. Let's go ahead and offer Alex Zepeda. Have $5 million. I don't have any other reason for it. Go for it. Oh, I'm having second thoughts about Arenado. How can I get rid of Noah Syndergaard? Graffinino, you jackass. You were exactly what I needed, and you had to tear a ligament in your thumb. I don't get it, game. Why do you hate me? I'm not letting Bobby Witt try to play shortstop. I think that would be a bad call. You know what? Dari Lorenzo, you're in. Welcome to the major leagues. I'm even going to let you at leadoff just because you have roughly the same skill set that the other guy had. Unless Brian Miller is heating up, which he's not. This is fine. Lots, you want to play in right field a bit? Go for it. You're really hurting the team, bro, which is kind of a shame because you were so good last year. But you were always going to be a feast or famine type, and this year it's famine. And of course, Max Kepler gets a new freaking contract and craps the bet on me. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate that. He's still hitting okay. He's just not as good as I thought he'd be. So here's our weakness now. Our lineup is now incredibly top heavy. Like, Garcia's good. Garcia's doing what I want him to do. He's just asking for a lot more money than I think he's worth to do it. Alright, you gotta cut me some slack here. How about 5 million? Nah. I don't think you're gonna take 5-5 as an offer. You might. Can I get you to take 5-3? No. You want your 5.95 million just to make my life harder, you unbelievable jerk. Yeah, he's not budging because he's a jerk. Which means I gotta find some other way to save a bunch of money very, very quickly. Because the owner is not gonna like it at all. Let's look at the All-Star Game rosters. Jack Leiter, Jordan Guerrero, Adley Rushman, Daniel Cabrera. Very nice. No Nolan Arenado, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. But then again, there is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And Gio Urshel all of a sudden hitting homers, which is just insane. And what about the prospects game? Martin Herrera, Roismar Quintana, and Bobby Witt Jr. And Mike Reese. Nice. And Andy Neal. Okay, fine. That's totally fine. These guys' WAR looks insane because it's also including their WAR from their college performance, which is fun. We're in a bit of a crisis situation. I've got so many players who are very, very good, whose contracts are coming up and who are all going to want to get paid quite handsomely. And that's without even considering Jack Leiter. In the next 3 seasons, we're going to see all kinds of players want all kinds of money. Now, the good news is, such as it is, it's gonna thin out after we lose Arenado and Syndergaard. Even Diaz is probably overpaid for what he actually provides, but he gets the job done. And I'm not gonna break up a good thing in a year where we're actually performing very, very well as a team. Like, why, owner, can I not have a payroll that's higher? I'm giving you everything else you're asking for. You should meet me halfway and open up the purse strings. Because it's ridiculous that you won't even give me a $110 million payroll. Which would instantly solve most of our problems. I gotta get someone to take a discount. The problem is that the players I do have all want lots and lots of money. Which isn't great. Clay Holmes, I'm just non-tendering you. You were a mistake, but I traded you to get rid of Miguel Castro. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to designate you for assignment, and if someone grabs you, then I will cry for a very long time, except I won't. Let's see what you got, Jack Sprake. Joe, whatever. Your name is what I tell you it is. Who else could we trade? Who else could we trade to make us some cash? I don't know the answer to that. Why are you grumpy? Is you grumpy because you suck? You should be grumpy because you suck. Can I send him to the minors? I mean, he'd refuse the assignment, but we could try. Yeah. Why are you so terrible? Like, I know you're a power pitcher. You should be striking people out, and you are. But you're also just getting lit up. And every time you get hit, it leaves the yard. Can I please make him the 5th starter? That would alleviate the problem somewhat. If I'm going to have a crappy pitcher throw every 5 days, let's make sure that he's pitching the least important of those 5 days. And then I've got all kinds of contestants for the rest of this. I don't get it, dude. How can you go from Silver Slugger to just utter dud? I don't get it, bro. But you're actually making the team worse, so I think we have to replace you. What can I get for trading you? I'm only taking prospects. I am not taking anything else for him. You're a pretty neat looking dude. Flondell Pena. I like you also, but I don't have a real need for you. Gabriel Moreno looks like a really nice find in terms of a backup catcher who can actually hit. That could be quite a nice upgrade. What matters also that we're getting good offers. Kevin Melendez. Brian Hernandez. You're a decent little backup fourth outfielder type. Hey, let's narrow it down to outfielders. I just got through complaining about how our outfielders were pretty rough, right? Potential maybe. Fidel Castro, how can I say no? Joe Naranjo looks like a pretty damn fine hitter who just can't play the field. Walking Cabrera does not in fact walk, but is in other words a very capable corner outfielder. Jimmy Wilmot is very much a slap hitter. He's very young though. That actually makes him extremely attractive to me. Because it means he'll have time to develop and then we get to see how he turns out. Let's do it. And then I'm going to see if I can get super greedy and get you to toss in another outfielder. Let's make it a 2-for-1, right? How about Victor Lara, too? Can I get both of them? No, he'd want more than that. He's not asking for much, though. I can trade Larnach and a guy with absolutely no future in order to get two pretty okay outfielders. I'm fine with that. Get a bit more depth. And then I need a new outfielder to take this team. Riser, can you play center at all? You sort of can. You're in, mate. Welcome to the team. Go ahead and generate me a new depth chart if you'd be so kind. Only if Fisher is tired, only if Lorenzo is tired do I want Fisher playing. Oh, right, I didn't actually replace the DH, which is the bigger issue. Who's been playing better so far, Lotz or Torro? You know what? Lotz. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Oh, Ryan Mountcastle, you bastard. Here's the thing. If I can get you to cut me some slack in these early seasons... Like, right, let's talk about this. I'll actually increase your salary at the back end of this. Would you take this deal, Mr. Mountcastle? No. I cannot afford to give you the contract that you want. How about that? He would take that. And that would give me a far more flexibility in terms of knowing what I've got to work with. I'm going to submit the offer. And if he doesn't take it this time, he doesn't take it. And then Lots or Torro or both or neither can compete for the DH spot. And then we're going to try to figure out how to pay Rushman. And if the owner doesn't like it, he's just going to have to suck it up. Because there's no way I'm not paying Rushman. Or Garcia if it comes to that, but... Hey, Dowie. Can I get you to do, like, say, a 4-year deal at $850,000? Just out of curiosity. No, that's fine. It was worth trying. Okay. Let's go ahead and end the episode. We've made some... If we win the World Series this year, the Nolan Arenado deal was worth it. If we don't, it's probably cost us keeping some of our very best rookies down the road. And there's really not much in between. But we're gonna see. And I'm really hopeful that if we perform well this season, we'll get a boost to our payroll, which is 22nd in the major leagues. I don't think it's unreasonable for me to ask for a bit more salary going forward. Could I convince Rushman? No, this guy won't even let me cut his salary by $1 million. He's not gonna sign for longer. Come on, dude. I'm literally just asking you. Damn it. That's fine. I don't want to piss him off too much. Once Mountcastle signs him, actually free up some cash. So we'll see what happens with him. Until next time, though, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.